How do you do, fellow kids? Guitar Speaker Gollum's back. On tonight's episode of Weird Things I Like to Do with My Saturday Evenings, we check out Jensen's brand new speaker, the Silverbird. Now, ordinarily, I'd have the speaker I'm demoing in my hand right now because I don't know what to do with my hands when I film these bits, but I pulled a fast one on myself this time and forgot I had to film this, and it's already in my Marshall cab behind me here. If you're new to my channel, I like to provide a tonal reference for the speaker videos I do, and that tonal reference for me is a Celestion Vintage 30 from the year 2008 Ohm on this side of my cab. It's one of my favorite speakers, and the other speaker goes on this side of the cab. Both get mic'd up with Shure SM57s, and then I play a few sloppy riffs to one of my amplifiers, and then I switch back and forth in quick succession, hopefully giving you a good reference for the speaker I'm demoing. To do so, I mic up the Celestion Vintage 30 in its sweet spot to me, which is right where the dust cap meets the cone. That is this position in this cab. And the other speaker gets mic'd up in the same relative position at first, but if that has a different sweet spot, I move the microphone to that sweet spot later in the video. And to help you further assess if the speaker I'm demoing is something for you, I provide free IRs for you to download of the Celestion Vintage 30 in its sweet spot, and IRs for each position I use on the other speaker in the video. Now for the Silverbird, I had a hard time actually deciding on a sweet spot because I think you will find it is very different to the Celestion Vintage 30, and I've been speaking to Ignacio from Jensen Speakers about this a bit, and he tells me that it's a truly vintage derived speaker. I think they base it on their old Blackbird speakers for Jensen, but with a modern twist in mind. And the result is a very different sounding speaker to what I'm used to. And again, as a result, I had trouble deciding on a sweet spot because the range I could use is much wider than it is on the Vintage 30. I mean, if you mic up a Vintage 30 with the Shure SM57, if you put it right in the middle, your ears will bleed. Hurts, 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 hurts. Ah, that's okay. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, this is still okay. Dull. With the Silverbird, a lot more usable range. And I'm going to mic up a few more spots for this speaker so that you can really assess how it sounds. I'm going to start off with the same reference position as for the Vintage 30, and at the end of the video for one or two riffs I'm going to move the mic a bit further outside and then a bit further inside, and you'll get IRs for those as well so you can assess how it sounds. Also for this video I'm adding a new segment because I managed to procure some cheap Hezu Wizard 1x12 cabs that are in here. I'm going to use those to give you a demonstration of the room sound. I'm going to set up my Austrian Audio OC818, have the Silverbird in one of the Hezu Wizard 112s, and a different Celestion Vintage 30, but one from 2002 that sounds similar to the other, because I don't feel like taking the 2000 Vintage 30 out of this and putting back in all the time. So I'm just gonna have two of those cabs. First I'm gonna reamp a riff through one, then reamp the same riff through the other, and then switch back and forth again. So that's enough talking. I'm gonna use one or two different guitars for this, just riff a bit, and leave you with my final thoughts. Let's go. This guitar is in drop C sharp, and before I move the mics, I want to try a guitar which is tuned slightly lower. I'm going to get a guitar tuned to drop C, so hold on a sec. Alright, I'm going to play a riff now, switch back and forth between the two speakers, then move the Shure SM57 that's on the Silverbird further outside, play the same riff, switch back and forth again, then move the mic further inside, closer to the center of the speaker, then play that same riff again. By that time you'll be sick of that riff, and we'll hopefully have a better impression of how the Silverbird behaves under the mic, or how it behaves towards mic position changes. English is hard today. Okay. Back to the original position again. I'm just noodling. The way I find the sweet spot on the speakers I test is I take an SM57 and I make a whole bunch of IRs across the speaker to find the sweet spot in a little bit more controlled environment than in this garage here with all the room noise and everything. And I do so by switching back and forth between my reference position on the Vintage 30, my reference IR, and the IRs I've shot. And to be honest, I was taken a bit by surprise at how different the Silverbird sounds to the Vintage 30. I, for some reason, expected it to be closer, as well, probably because most of the speakers I've tested have been either derivatives of the Vintage 30 or are kind of for the same demographic. This speaker was a little different, and I had, as I mentioned in the video, a little bit of difficulty finding the sweet spot to me. But as I continue to listen and as I continue to edit this video, I'm shooting this after all the editing prior is done, it really grew on me. It's a really nice speaker. I really like the extended low end of it, and it's really tight and clear and transparent sounding. And I think it would probably do very well for even lower tune stuff than I tend to use. My comfort zone is drop C sharp and drop C. Lowest I like to go is drop B. Everything below that, I like the sound when other people play it, but I just can't get along playing lower than that. So once I let go of my expectations, my ears really opened up to the Silverbird, and I particularly like how broad the range is in which you can mic it with an SM57. Something I think has to do with the larger diameter dust cap. I've noticed that on the LCFR 150 from Fein or Lichlem Audio, the Redback, the speakers with the larger dust caps seem to be less sensitive in the high end to those mic positions. And I think I recall speaking to Ignacio from Jensen about that, and he explained that that is the case, but my memory is terrible. With a bit of luck, we'll be able to summon him in the comment section. And with that in mind, what did you think of the Jensen Silverbird? Please let me know in the comments. And if you like this kind of stuff, I hope I've earned a subscription from you. If you're interested in more IRs of this speaker than the free ones, you can download in the description below. Or if you just want to support me, consider becoming a Patreon of mine. That's where I post IR packs for the speakers I demo and whatever other goodie I can think of. Also, special thanks to the guys who've already signed up for my Patreon. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. I've got loads more speaker videos coming. I think I've got about 20 speakers here. Fein sent a bunch of speakers. I've got a few more Jensens coming, one of which is the Nighthawk, a speaker that I like very, very much. I think if you like the Vintage 30, you'll probably love the Nighthawk. So stay tuned. Lots more Celestians, Eminences, and a few others. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.